Let's recap. Go back to the games that happened last weekend in the NFL between the Kansas City Chiefs, who lost to the Bengals.
Yeah, they did.
I went into it thinking Chiefs. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I had Chiefs winning that game at home. I was not thinking they was about to lose. Shout out to the Bengals. I know they got a good team. We all know that now because they're gonna be in the Super Bowl. You see the teams I got over here. That's the Super Bowl teams, guys. If you don't know, I know you didn't pick it at the beginning of the year. It's Rams versus Bengals. There's some people that had Rams, but I know they ain't had no Bengals. So, what you think about the game? What did you feel like was
that was
last week?
That was a good game. Matter of fact, this has been one of the best playoffs that I've seen in a long time, man. The games are coming all the way down to the wire, all of that particular game. I felt like Kansas City had control of the game early. They was up big, 21-3 or something like that. Yeah. But, it was still kind of that little play they made right before half when Tyreek Hill got stopped. It was like 21-3 is not that much, if you come out and play good in the third quarter. So, to me, I felt like that Cincinnati was going to figure them out and catch up with them eventually anyway. As far as them winning the game, I still felt like the Chiefs might pull it out, but the Bengals is hungry, man. They got some young athletes. They got a good quarterback. The defense is starting to play better, and I wouldn't be surprised, if they gave the Rams a run for their money.
Did you think, like in the first half, because they jumped out. I ain't gonna lie. It looked like at one point it could have been ugly. Like, all right, I felt like right before they threw that third down, I think it was a third down play, they threw that screen. Samaje Perine took that screen for a 50-yard touchdown. I felt like that was really like the super big play to me that changed the game early for them because Bengals was starting to get in that territory of like, all right, this Chiefs, they might start running it up on y'all. They scored real quick early, 2 quick ones. Tyreek made a great grab, but when you talking about me, that was a backup QB, backup running back, so he really they would mix him. But this is the time where mixing went out for a minute, and they threw that screen, and I felt like that's when he scored on that, it was like if I'm on the away team, I'm thinking, yo, we out here now, like somebody else making a play, so all the other players, they're gonna make a play based off that. I thought that was a key play in the game. Early.
That was a big play. They took Mixon out, so you take your eyes off the back, and then they throw him a screen the next play, and it was wide open. But to me, that it was still early in the game when that happened. You know what I'm saying? So I still felt like the Bengals, if they could, ever get their legs up under them, which they did, then they started making some plays on defense, and I felt like Mahomes, he did too much dancing around in the pocket. In the first half, it worked, but in the second half, when he was trying to do that same stuff, I felt like he could have got rid of the ball, especially that interception he threw right to the guy, man. That's not Patrick Mahomes. Throw the ball away. Do something. Don't turn the ball over, but he's human, and the Bengals going to the Super Bowl.
Hey, I felt even with all that happening, like they still, you talk about really overtime had to happen for that game. Like, what I'm saying? You really, even with all the mistakes, I felt like, you want to give the D-line some credit for the Bengals because they were rushing up. That second half, they were rushing straight upfield, making sure that he stayed in that pocket. He was running backwards, though, too, so he wasn't helping himself when you look at it. But when I looked at Burrows on the other side, he was taking off a couple of times on them third downs, just running. He paid for it. Now, they hit him after he picked it up, but he was taking off running straight. When he dropped back, I know you saw it. You a coach. You already, like, when he was dropping back, he didn't see what he was liking on some of them third downs. He was taking off, getting upfield.
He took the game in his own hands, that's the difference. Yeah, it did. And he was looking for it too. Like, he wasn't going to take any chances on third down. If he felt like he'd get it with his legs, he was going to get it, And Patrick Mahomes done that before. But in that game, it's all about who's the hungriest. And I felt like the Bengals, they showed that they was hungry, especially in that second half. They started getting after the quarterback a little bit. And they hit him, and the ball came loose a couple times. And anytime you get that going on, you're pretty much doing what you want to do up front defensively.
When they drove down the field late in the game, bro, and they was like in field goal range, but still trying to score to win the game, all the people, I'm thinking like, okay, Kansas City, they're going to score right here instead of just kick this field goal and go ahead and take the win. But that's obviously when Patrick Mahomes started running backwards, and then he fumbled on that one. But I knew it was wild too. Even after all of that, when overtime hit, they got the coin toss, and Mahomes, like that first drive, Chiefs got the coin toss. That first drive, the first play, he threw that slant behind the receiver early. I was like, yo.
Yeah, and then the one when he threw the ball into double coverage and turned the ball over. I mean,
yeah,
all he had to do was, just
that's that safety I was talking to you about last time too when we talked from Wake Forest. He really can catch now, but he jumped over. I'm talking on the last play, right? You talking on the pick?
Yeah,
stealed it. Yeah, that last play he came over Tyreek, and tipped it, but he picked it. Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy play. What you thought? You thought he just threw it? That was a bad throw for him. He put it out there though, but the DB made a play too. Now
I mean, to be in a position like that and to go out like that, you understand what I'm saying? That's desperation type moves when balls like that getting thrown in double coverage and you back there scrambling and they got away from their offense. They could have still ran the ball a little bit.
Yeah,
they didn't have to do nothing but go down and score. What you don't want to do is turn the ball over.
Yeah, that time, of the game, like when they did that, like that being overtime and with the rules, turnover gonna do you really?
That was basically the ball game when they did that. You know what I'm saying?
Because
they'll be back though. That's one thing about Kansas City. They will be back. They got that much talent. Yeah. So
I was looking back at the stats. The stats ain't gonna tell you really the game. Nobody caught for over 100 on Chiefs. It seemed like the second half, nobody could get involved. That second half was a tale of two halves. But Chiefs, you look at Mahomes, numbers, he threw for like, I don't know, maybe 50-something, 60 yards in that second half total. So really, the Bengals defense, like you said early, give them some credit.
Yeah. They started getting home, getting pressure on the quarterback. They did what they had to do, man, for whatever reason. Kansas City offense stalled. And they couldn't really get the ball to Tyreek Hill and the rest of them guys that they was getting it to in the first half. I mean, like Kelsey is always wide open to me. I don't understand why he ain't get a couple more throws because they seem to leave him open. I mean, Kelsey just in the middle of the field. You got to go to those guys, but that pressure is something. That pressure is something terrible.
What you think about the next game, the night game, which was really an NFC West showdown? It just had a lot more on the line. All week, everybody talking about 49ers beating them 6 times in a row. I already knew that was going to be a problem for them. You talking about getting beat that many times, but when it counts, this is the one you really need. So it really don't matter that you beat them 6 times in a row. You got to beat them that last time. But what you think about that game early in the game and then how it ended?
Just like what you just said, anytime you don't beat the team that many times, that means they get that much closer to beating you. You see what I'm saying? You ain't gonna beat them forever, and it's like, to me, that's the way that game went. San Francisco was up at the half; they played good, but the Rams just warmed down. And to me, they didn't play their best game. The Rams didn't. They made a couple plays down the stretch and took advantage of some coverage, especially with that little ball that Cooper Kupp caught that little on that cover too, and when he ran the little flag route. I mean, Jesus Christ, that safety, man. Oh my God.
Number 3.
You gotta understand that
he was getting beat for 6 and he dropped his pick. He was terrible in that game. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't understand how you let him beat you like that, bro. He froze him to death.
Super flat-footed out there at safety. About to run this flag route on you, and Matt Stafford can really, he can make that throw. He gonna put it on the rope and high. So by the time he run past you, you beat.
I'm gonna tell you something about Matthew Stafford, man. When I felt like they had an advantage in that game was the way he was throwing the ball. Even with his incompletions, he was swinging for the fences.
Yeah,
he was not throwing dink and donk balls. He was throwing the ball down the field, like a big boy. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, he playing confident. So and then Odell and them boys, Cooper Kupp,
he was killing 49ers, boy.
Yeah, he was. Odell caught like 9 balls. I mean,
he was getting murked too. They was knocking him out, and he was still holding
he was ready
on.
Though.
Still holding on, making big.
He was ready. He was taking big shots and everything.
We talked about Cooper Kupp, how because you coaching defense, you really coaching everything on the field. But when you got somebody in that slot that really know how to run routes, they can really just run outs. They can out you to death. And he was doing that a few times now. I felt like first half, though, when I look back, first half, I was watching the game just thinking like, 49ers really, they ain't had the ball that much. Like, when you think about it, the time of possession, Rams was, and I don't know if that was thought about beforehand. Like, we're going to take the ball out of their hands so they don't be physical against us. You know, how 49ers try to get physical.
Absolutely.
I felt like they was taking their time with the ball and converting their third downs, but it was like not super big plays, taking their time. When you look at that time of possession first half, boy, that was crazy. It was like 3 times. They had the ball 3 times as much as 49ers did, boy. In that first half, defense was on the field the whole time.
That's got to be part of your game plan. That's got to be part of the game plan when you're the Rams, because everybody know you got weapons to throw the ball. So what you got to do is you got to try to run it. And they came out and ran Cam Akers, and
right.
They ran. You know, they tried to hold the game up and keep them weapons off the bench for San Fran. But I felt like that game was good, man. That was a real good game, man. Y'all, the boys just came up
second half. Second half, it got super real. That's when it was turning, back and forth. They was doing a good job blocking Aaron Donald the whole game, too, to that last possession when he was around Garoppolo's legs. We think about that last play. Garoppolo, he tried to just flip it out there on that last play.
Aaron Donald, man. Aaron Donald's a problem, man. And Deebo Samuels played well in that game, too, man. He played tough, man. He took some licks in that game. I mean, he came back and ran a touchdown, I think, and
he did.
He was catching balls and running, and he was playing tough, man. He like an old school football player, man.
Yeah.
You know, but
I just say number 3, man. The second 49. When I came away from the game, just like 49 secondary, it can end up getting them, man, because that's.
How did y'all have? Did they have everybody out there that they supposed to have?
Man, I don't know.
Y'all didn't have no injuries out there.
At one time, Williams, the nickel corner that they like to use a lot, he missed a couple plays out there, but
everybody else was out there.
He had to step on the side for a couple plays, a few times. You know, he had his hands full though. He out there on Cooper Kupp, so hands pretty full, and you getting beat. You're gonna get beat too when you got somebody. It's different when you got somebody that can run those routes, and you got a coach that's about to get you involved too.
You got a quarterback that's right there that has a cannon. That's, you know, anytime you can beat man coverage and zone coverage. That's the type of receiver Kupp is. It's tough not to get him the ball. Then you got to cover the rest of the guys. You got, because Odell will beat you for a touchdown, so you got to cover him too.
Boys got a lot of weapons. We went all in on it. Jalen Ramsey dropped his pick. They went all in on it though. Garoppolo, again, he almost tried to give it to him. He did the same thing against Dallas. About threw a pick, tried to give it back to him. He did it against
Ramsey panicked. He panicked and he jumped. All he had to do was run through the ball and catch it. He would have ran a touchdown. He jumped up in there.
Would have been a touchdown.
Yeah. You know, sometimes when you jump like that ball, you know, you take your eyes off the ball when you jump like that.
Do you think 49ers going to bring him back? Garoppolo?
Well, until they get some the Trey Lance or
let me ask you this. Let me reword it. What do you think the 49ers going to do? What would you do with Garoppolo?
I mean, you got to look at the way he lost. You went to the NFC Championship, right?
Yeah, and he been to the Super Bowl with us before too.
If the guy on the bench behind him is not at least as good as him, you got to play Garoppolo. You don't want what you want to. You know, this is just my opinion. You don't want to get worse as a team. So no matter what you think you finna do, you don't want to make your team worse. I know you're trying to get better, but you're already going to the NFC Championship. With a couple of plays, they could have beat the Rams. I felt like, to me, yeah, Garoppolo threw a pick at the end, but it was times when you want to beat somebody, you got to go ahead and pull away. You know, the rest of them guys, you know, Deebo was balling, but some of them other guys should have made some more plays.
It was a lot of players left on that field.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just, you know, them boys had the chance to go get it, and they let the game stay close. So then, of course, you know, it's on the quarterback then.
Yeah. And you flip it up. Running back tips it up, and they get the pick.
What was his stats in that game? Do you remember his stats in that game? I know he threw a pick or two.
He definitely threw a pick. I can tell you. He definitely threw a pick, but that pick was like, I feel like, I mean, when you just flipping it out there, the running back, running backs, they can't catch, but He tips it up. Somebody behind you, it's a pick. Now your pick history is involved now. Now everybody thinking about the time you threw a pick, missed the throw. It really wasn't. I thought it was two unfortunate plays. Like when Mahomes threw that last pick and they lost the game, that safety made a hell of a play. And when Garoppolo threw that flip out ball, the running back, you gotta, I don't know, you dip it down or something. Like if you just drop the ball and then somebody right behind you for a happy birthday, that was what how we used to call, that's a happy birthday to me pick. Like he didn't even have to do a lot just to get that pick. But I'll tell you what his stats is as I look him up right now, because it wasn't too bad. He had an all right game.
I didn't think it was too bad. I thought he threw for a few yards. He didn't throw for 300 yards or nothing like that. But
nah, he ain't that. He went 232, 2 touchdowns and a pick.
See, if you look at them stats right there, man, them ain't stats to cut a quarterback over to me. He threw one pick.
Right.
I mean, threw two TDs. One of them was a screenplay to Debo.
Yeah. So,
but I don't know. You don't want to.
When you think about the fact that the organization they gave up 3 first-round picks to get the young boy. Now it's like, all right, now you got it. Now you start looking at your front office like, okay, they start getting into that mode of like, we got to prove ourselves right instead of really doing what we did, what we need, what we should be doing. Teams be doing that all the time, like trying to prove themselves not to be wrong. That's what I mean. Like when you draft, you know what I'm saying? You going 3 first.
That's the whole point. You want your guys that you invest in. You want them to work. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to not.
That's what made me think out of there personally. Like if that was me, you played in the Super Bowl. He was a starter. You can win with him. Let the young boy sit behind and get right. And when it's his time to come in, if he just play terrible, then all right, put him in. But when you give 3 first-round picks to move up to get him at 3, now you got the 3 first.
You got to kind of play that. You got to play that. You got to play him. You got to play him.
I hope he's ready. It comes down to that too. I hope he's ready.
Hey, he better be, because it's got to be time.
I mean, it's still young with it, but like, boy, they getting rid of him just to put you in. And I think that got something to do with the Mahomes thing too. Like they've been seeing that work. They saw that work with Mahomes. He one of them once in a lifetime type QBs. Everybody ain't like Mahomes out here. So just because when they let Alex Smith go and everybody was like, oh, you just let him go quick. And then they got quiet because Mahomes came out there. But they really drafted him so that they could put him in that game right away. He wasn't going to be sitting long. I feel like that's what they're trying to do with Trey Lance. They didn't make it. So you might as well talk about the teams that actually made it. How you feel about the Super Bowl? You got Bengals versus the Rams. Bengals coming in with house money. They haven't made the playoffs since, I can't even remember. They ain't make it in the era I was watching with Ocho and the boys. They ain't never, Marvin Lewis ain't never really getting them boys to get.
They made the playoffs. If they did, though, they got beat the first round. Cincinnati Bengals last time they were real good was when Boomer Esiason played for them.
That's why he be up there when he's up there with the CBS crew talking.
And Icky Woods and them.
I know he's looking at it like, yeah, they got a QB now that can really do something for real with Burrows, because he's a winner now. That's one thing about it.
Yeah, they're good, man. They're good. I mean, they had some good years with Dalton, but I mean, really, it's been a while. But this is their year. If they're gonna do something, they need to do it this year. The Rams are a team that's they're licking their chops. They're looking for a Super Bowl this year. Yeah, it's in their stadium. They got Aaron Donald.
So that's gonna be loud as hell.
What's the point spread on that game? I know the Rams' favorite. They got to be about 4 points or something like that. 4 or 5 points.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get that exactly right though. We need to know that.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're gonna cover?
I see a tight ball game, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this one's going down to the wire. I don't know about them spreads on this one. I think this one's gonna be a field goal or last second. Depends on how it goes.
Like how the game's been already. The game's been that close, all of them.
That's what I'm saying. If they follow suit like that. Now, people are expecting Aaron Donald and them to take over. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're expecting. But it might take them a while with that boy back there, because he can show he's pretty slick and he can throw it.
Yeah.
And he got some weapons. Jamar Chase and Higgins and
Yeah, Higgins
Tyler
was
Boyd.
balling. I meant to say that Higgins was balling last game for against the Chiefs. He
Mm-hmm.
was picking up them big third downs for them boys too. You
Mm-hmm.
know what Chase they was putting that double team on Chase like they've been doing anyway for the last second half of the season. But he still made his play. They threw that fade up, and he made
Did you
that
see
play.
the one? But the best play I liked that game, of course, the touchdown was great. But the best play that Chase made was late in the game. I think it was fourth quarter. In the red zone, he caught a ball. It was about a 12-yard little ball. He ran like a little stop route and kind of bent it back towards the middle. It looked like a slant, but he looked like he took it a little bit deeper.
Yeah, it was a good catch. A good play.
It was coverage all over him, dude. And he caught that ball. I was like, oh, yeah, he tough.
What do you think about these the quarterbacks for both teams, like coming into this game? Who you think got the advantage, disadvantage? Do you think both of them are on some equally matched type? Because ain't neither one of them been here. One of them coming in just like I'm jumping off the porch and I'm in the Super Bowl. That's Burrows. The other one, he been waiting for his moment. He been bringing the Detroit Lions back just to lose for so many years.
But I mean, you just said it. See, the experience is with Matthew Stafford. He's been in the league for a while, so he's got to be the one to rely on his experience and all those years to get him over the hump because Joe Burrow is not no slow leap, man. He's a good player. And he'll think about Burrow, he'll take advantage, just like we were talking about, when him taking off on third downs. He knows how to take advantage of teams, you know what I'm saying? He knows when to slide. He's pretty smart. So I don't know. If Stafford is gonna get it done, he better get it done early. I don't see the Rams being the type of team they got to play from ahead. To me.
So you feel like if they got to try to, if Bengals jump out and it's quiet in there because it's a home game for Rams, really.
That's not going to be good.
That's not good. You think Matt Stafford, because he'll take chances now, but he might take. That's when you can start throwing picks. Trying to be
absolutely, and then you see when we know you, it's a difference. You see what I'm saying? We get up 14-0, we're gonna get in that cover 4, and we're gonna try to start mixing it with a little bit of cover 2 and robbing stuff, and we're gonna try to pick you out. So it's like that's the way you got to beat those guys, But the Rams got so much firepower, they're probably gonna jump out. They're probably gonna score at least, a touchdown or 2 in the first half.
You had the spread right too. It's 4.5.
Yep, that's what I feel. I figured
that sounds about right. It's gonna be some people doing bets. The same people, the betting community. Shout out to all of y'all. We here to support y'all. I know that some days is good days and bad days for people out there that's betting. Hopefully today.
And I can vouch for that.
Hopefully it's a good day for you. But
I got a card in right now. I need to see what the boys doing.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to keep it in NFC West. I hope that if I look at both coaches, I'm not mad at Zach Taylor. I remember how bad it was looking for him at one point. Like I felt like he was gonna be out of here messing with Bengals. They looking bad, but front office did a lot for him too, because you could tell they collaborate with him. Because if he said, yo, which really he didn't have to say that much because Joe Burrow won every game in college, he's gonna be number 1. But that decision to go Jamar Chase instead of an O lineman, that was a good decision, because Joe Burrow coming off a torn ACL. So a lot of people gonna want to protect the QB with that draft pick instead of saying, yo, we're gonna go get this wide out. But it ain't nobody thinking that today. Like everybody's saying, and you were one of the people too that said he the real damn deal. A lot of people missed it because he sat out that year for COVID. He ain't even play. But if you have a little piece of a memory, you know what time it was with Chase. So
yeah,
his impact.
I thought Jamar Chase was good. I thought he was the best receiver of the year. His senior year when he came out of college, I thought he was the best receiver in the draft. You remember they had him? He was like top 3 or top 5 or something like that. But
yeah,
to me, what I saw when I looked at his film, he got strong hands, man. He catches the ball. He has very strong hands, and he can run too. You know what I'm saying? But Chase, he's a guy who he can take over a game. Yeah. So if they that dude, I think you got to double a guy like that. I don't care if you do got Jalen Ramsey. You can't put Jalen Ramsey out there on the boundary with that dude by himself. No way. He's gonna get ate up out there. I'm telling you. You got to give him some help. Let him play underneath. Let him play physical. Let him play physical though. You know what I'm saying? But Chase is one of the best I've seen in a while. He reminds me a lot of Odell Beckham. You know what I'm saying? With the stuff he can do out there. You know, catch punts and all of that stuff. He's a good one.
What you think about I'm gonna say Rams because I like Sean McVay. Even though in the last game, I don't know what Sean McVay was doing with those challenges. He won't get no help from his supporting coaches because any of them people that were saying challenge and play, I felt like watching on TV they was gonna lose their timeout. Were you watching that? Like, why is he challenging this?
I saw
out of it a little bit out there.
I saw it. The reason why I felt like he was doing it is because he felt like he still was going to win the game. I felt like he didn't think he needed his timeouts. You know, I felt like that's the way he. You know, when a coach gets his mind made up on something, sometimes they'll make bad decisions.
Yeah, and I thought he was.
But I still felt like he felt like they were going to win the game no matter what, with or without the timeouts. That's the only reason I think he would do that.
As he was picking it and deciding the challenge and stuff, I was thinking to myself, like, he probably not gonna win this challenge. But when you a player on your coach gonna challenge, and that's like that coach really feeling like he gonna be for y'all no matter what. Like if we don't get it, we do get it. It don't matter. I'm challenging. Like I'm about to see. We're gonna see if we can get this or not.
But you can't mess the coach up with that stuff. Now you got to know. You got to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, don't be the person that. Yeah. Don't be the person.
The coach on the sideline, he listening through the headset, like, "Oh, go ahead and challenge it." Okay, don't be wrong.
Yeah,
Like you said, if it would have came out to a timeout, they'd have been ready for that dude's job right there. If they would have lost that game behind those timeouts.
He was looking. I think it was early in the third quarter. They had like one timeout, but
they was talking about how many bad challenges that he's called and stuff. He's not doing good with them, so that may be weighing on it too. He's trying to win challenges because he can't win nothing. He just really need to let them boys play.
It made me think about the last time because that's the second biggest game he's been in besides when he was in the Super Bowl. The last time he was in a Super Bowl against New England and Belichick, and I felt like he wasn't ready for that. But it's Belichick at the same time. Like who's gonna be ready? But that was the boring Super Bowl for a lot of people. Like there wasn't a lot of points. That's when Brady went out there and he got the win. Like it was like 3-0 forever.
Handed the ball off and kept the Rams off, kept that high flying offense off the field. You can't win giving them the ball all day. You got to run it. You got to dink and dunk it up the field, and you got to and that's what the Patriots do when they have to. Shout out to Tom Brady, one of the greatest of all time, the GOAT. 22 seasons, clutch, the most clutch football player ever, one of the most clutch athletes ever.
Hanging it up. And he really
hanging up the cleats, man.
Yards. I hope everybody understand that.
Yeah, he leading in yards, he leading in touchdowns, he leading in everything you can come up with for passing.
Individually, he really went out on top. He just, that last game, like we was talking about, when he cussed that ref out and got a flag, I was like, yo,
that was it.
Tired of this.
he got hit in the mouth and was bleeding, and that was it. But he threw a pretty touchdown on Ramsey to Mike Evans.
He did. I seen Ramsey tweeting about that, saying that's his last touchdown was on me. Got him on that go out.
How else did he think it was going to be? He wasn't going to be on nobody easy. It's Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying?
Took advantage of every opportunity. The true meaning of I think about two things with him. Like Brady is straight up like take advantage of your opportunity, bro. You get a chance, he ain't looking back. Perseverance too, though, and really just trying to like, no matter what's going on, he trying to win. So what we need to do to win? Do we need to run today and do a lot of runs? Cool. Do we need to do a whole lot of throws? Cool. Do I need to throw short passes all day? Cool. Do I need
whatever
to
you need to do
deep passes? Cool. He's just like the person that can just adjust to whatever you need done too. He got to he got to get more credit. He got mad credit, but just for being somebody who, whatever you ask him, he make it look like everything was easy and it was tough out there for real.
He plays quarterback the way it's supposed to be played. He does, that's the quarterback is the captain of your team. He's captain of your offense. If he don't play well, the offense is not going to play well. So he's got to start with himself, and he does that every day. And to me, it's simple. Tom has love for the game, man. That's how you play 22 years, man. He loved to play football. He loves the competition of it. He loves to get better. He loves proving everybody wrong because he was a 6th-round draft pick, and he was good at Michigan. I don't understand how he was a 6th-round draft pick because I remember him when he was at Michigan. But it was other names, that it was trying to bring in. He didn't have the big name like that, but the dude was good at Michigan. I think they only lost his last couple of years. They only lost like 2 games or 3 games.
You don't even know
if
that. The Michigan fans, a lot of folks, the Big Ten fans and the Michigan fans know about that, but a lot of people don't even. They just look at straight New England.
No, nah, he was good in college, dude. I mean, real good. Like they would put somebody in ahead of him, and they'll play 2 or 3 games and mess up, and then he'll go win 8 games straight. Then the next year they'll come back and they'll have another hot shot recruit they'll put back in front of him again, and he'll have to come off the bench again. He did it like 2 or 3 years in a row. Yeah. And then he had that workout that everybody's talking about.
Yeah. When they put that statement out and said that he was retiring, I felt like he was. I didn't think it was even when they said it was early and all that, I still felt he was gonna retire because I heard the interview he did before that. And on that interview, he was talking almost like it's probably over with. Like he was already talking about being there for his family more. And then also he was talking about letting somebody else get a chance. When you say something like that, you ain't in it. Like you ain't got the 100%. Like you felt like you probably need. And we know based on his stats and how he played, he definitely could have kept playing. So he just somebody else play.
You want to retire on top too. Sometimes you got to get. You got to forego some of that. You got to take some with you. You know what I mean? You don't want to leave it. I mean, you don't want to be, broke down in it when you leave off the field. So I felt like when you got 7 Super Bowls, you ain't winning 10.
Right.
So you might as well. You got the most. You still got your health. Tom Brady's still in great shape. I think he'll definitely he's a Hall of Famer. You know that. And
he's been in there early. He's in there right now. He could have been
one of the smartest quarterbacks, if not the smartest quarterback I ever seen, man. I mean, and can make mistakes and forget about them and come back and correct them just like that. That's what makes him good too, man. He's not afraid to make a mistake. And but you best believe after he make a mistake, he ain't gonna make one for a minute after that.
Yeah.
And I seen Tom Brady do a lot, man. He's a good one. I got him as the greatest quarterback all time, number 1.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. Of course, when somebody leaves, you gotta fill his void. So obviously, you're not gonna be able to fill that void. But Tampa gonna need a quarterback. Green Bay might need a quarterback if Rodgers don't come back. Saints gonna need a quarterback. Steelers gonna need a quarterback because Big Ben retired too. So just a quick to talk about how you feel about Big Ben's career as a quarterback. That he hung him up too.
Ben was one of the greatest of all times. He won 2 Super Bowls. He's just as good as anybody in his prime.
You got him
prime Ben. He's just as good as anybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the last few years he got old and got beat up a little bit, but it is what it is. That's what happened to everybody. And Ben is definitely the Hall of Famer. I've seen him do a lot of stuff. Them passes back in the day with San Antonio Holmes, and then you had Antonio Brown came through there.
All his stats.
Ben is definitely one of the best. The agility at his size, the way he really don't make the reads. He wait till the play break down and then he'll make the throw. You know what I'm saying? He was good at that, for a long time. But then when he couldn't really move like that, it kind of hurt his game. But yeah, one of the best of all time, Ben Roethlisberger, man.
Gonna walk right in the Hall of Fame too.
Yes, sir. He deserves.
Right.
He deserves.
As soon as they pull the ballots up, he going in.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Same team. A lot of quarterbacks too, man. And end for him bad. I remember when Kurt Warner got hit. I knew it was over for him. He was out there running around for Cardinals. He got hit in the Saints game. That's it. Brent Favre was out there for the Vikings. Somebody hit him low. He threw a bad pick, but he had a purple bruise on his left leg before he played. If Tom Brady leave and all he got is a busted lip out here, he did.
I think that's gonna be it. I think that's gonna be it. He don't need to go any further when it comes to that because he was upset.
Yeah.
He was upset.
We saw him like how he do the players on the sideline sometimes when they ain't getting it right. He did it to the
he goes off.
One thing I love about him too is any of his teammates, when they talk about him, they always talking about how he gonna put that confidence in you as a player too, which means he doing some things outside of just being out there when it's time for practice and stuff too. Now you don't get that good for just doing the practice or whatever. Extra reps. Everybody doing extra reps, but he doing like bringing you to the extra reps. You can come out here with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what.
Yeah, you earn that type of respect, man. You know, he's out working them guys. You're 44 years old. You're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to be there early to get, yeah. And that's what Tom Brady does. That's what Michael Jordan used to do. He'd be the first one in the gym. Kobe Bryant, all of them. You're not gonna be the best if you're not the first one in the gym and the last one to leave. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? You gotta outwork everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Well, 4.5. Good luck to all the bettors out there. I'm going with the Rams to win that game at home and for Dr. Dre and them to kill the halftime show and all that.
They definitely going to do that.
Say what?
They definitely going to kill that halftime show.
Dr. Dre, you got Mary
Snoop,
J.
Mary J, Kendrick Lamar,
Eminem. Podcast, right?
Yeah. They're going to do it right. They're going to do it right.
I'm going to be front and center.